Alright, so like I said before, the gameplay of the Wii version of this game is like a watered down version of the HD version of Sonic Unleashed's daytime stages. We're getting into the negatives really early with this one, aren't we? I don't know what it is, but something about Sonic in this game feels so underpowered. In Sonic Unleashed, you felt like you were Sonic, boosting through all those cables and right through robots at breakneck speeds. But in this game, you can't even use the light speed dash of all things. Whose idea was this? And instead of boost energy relying on rings, they rely on wisp capsules in this game, so since I'm not boosting all the time, where's my spin dash? Do you want to know what, in my opinion, makes Sonic Rush so good in terms of control? Not only can you boost, but you can also spin dash and curl into a ball to gain momentum. Why don't the other games do this? To be fair though, I do actually think that Colors is the best that the boost style of gameplay has controlled. Maybe it's because you aren't boosting all the time, but it still controls really well. Although, I still think that Sonic Adventure 2 is the best that the series is controlled in 3D. No ifs and or buts about it. The only new addition to Sonic's control that this game offers is a double jump. And I think it's alright, but why does it cancel out a lot of your momentum? Although anything beats Amy's double jump in Sonic 06. Sometimes 2D sections, oh boy, I'm gonna have a field day talking about those later. But in 2D sections, sometimes when you are trying to do a double jump, you wind up doing a homing attack instead. Why didn't they just do what Unleashed did and map it to a different button? Wait a second. They mapped the air boost to a different button. This is evidence that they could have done it. One of the face buttons in this game goes unused, so why couldn't they just map the homing attack to that if they had to? Although doing a homing attack when trying to double jump was rarely an issue when I played the game. This was the first modern Sonic game that I played, and when it first came out, I actually thought it was as good as people were saying it was, but now, well, you'll find out. Sonic still has all the other abilities that he did in Unleashed. Or does he? They got rid of the slide kick. Oh well, I didn't really use it much anyway. One more thing, you can regularly jump on enemies in this game, but only when Sonic is in a curled state. When Sonic jumps in this game, he'll exit his ball form, and when this happens, if you try jumping on an enemy, you'll get hit. Come on, people complain that Sonic can't jump on enemies in Sonic 06, but they don't bother to point this out because, oh, this game is great! Also, if you successfully jump on an enemy, if you try to hit another one, Sonic will still hit it, but he'll continue to drop downwards. It's not like the Genesis games or Generation where he'll get more height. He'll just drop straight down. And chances are that you're going to get hit anyway. So, if you jump on an enemy, don't try jumping on another one. This game's control scheme was definitely designed with the GameCube controller in mind. The GameCube controller is the best way to play the game for me. You can also use a classic controller, and they lazily ported the GameCube's button layout to the classic controller. So A is jump, B is boost, and X is stomp. Let's say that this game were on the Xbox 360, like Unleashed and Generations were. That would mean B is jump, A is boost, and Y is stomp. What were they thinking? But I eventually got used to it. The Wii Remote and Nunchuck combination is pretty good. You can also play the game with a sideways Wii Remote, but I'm not even gonna bother with that. In terms of actual level design, this game isn't really that interesting to me. It goes against the ideals to making a good Sonic game, which I'll state again because why not? 1. Characters should be reasonably fast. 2. There should be a good amount of platforming, and it should be decently paced. Keep that in mind, colors. 3. Good amount and well-paced combat. 4. Players should be rewarded for their exploration. And 5. Completing an objective should be straightforward and simple. The game doesn't really live up to these principles. And the ones it does live up to, it barely does so. The game is 70% 2D. I don't care how Sega advertised this game. It is a 2D Sonic game that sometimes go into 3D because why not? Sonic Rush has more 3D than this game does, and I'm so baffled by this, since Sonic Rush isn't even trying to be a 3D game, yet Colors was. About the 2D sections themselves, they're very blocky. Literally every 2D section is like this. Jump here, slide under this maybe, hit this enemy, jump here and here, hit this enemy, use this wisp. Rinse and repeat for the rest of the 3 to 4 hour game. And the 3D sections are very linear. Most of them just require you to boost in a straight line until you hit a spring or dash ring to enter a 3D section. And that brings us to another issue. The game puts springs and dash rings all over the place. It's like the game is constantly holding your hand with all of these. Anyway, continuing about the 3D sections, other ones are just drifting or quick-stepping mini-games. The only 3D sections that really interest me are this one in Starlight Carnival and this one in Aquarium Park. The other ones aren't really bad per se, but they just don't catch my attention. Why is this level design so restricting? Before you say, wait a second, this game was on the Wii, not the Xbox 360. You can argue that all you want. But take a look at Sonic Adventure. That game was on the Dreamcast, and it had big levels, multiple playable characters, hub worlds, and just overall great level design that never really restricts you. Except in Windy Valley, but that's probably because of the beta version that got scrapped. And of course when you play as Big. They always place these dash pads over loopy-loops. Oh jeez, if only we had the spin dash, otherwise you wouldn't need to put a dash pad in front of... Before you say that other games do this, and I don't complain about that, they sort of have an excuse. At least some of them. I would explain why, but that would take forever. If Nathaniel Brady ever does a video about how Sonic Colors triggers you, if he says something like this, I will click that like button no matter how long we are in the video. This game's control scheme was definitely designed with the GameTube. Yeah, sure, Nintendo's next big console. The GameTube. Also, that part where I said that Sonic Rush actually has more 3D than colors. First of all, Illuminati confirmed. And second of all, that was inspired by the person in the previous part. So, yeah.